Ever since the formation of the MCU, Marvel Studios has had a creative committee on board, which consisted of a bunch of people from Marvel Studios and Marvel Entertainment. And as it turns out, they had to reel Kevin Feige in and tell him that some of the scenes he wants to keep in Iron Man 2 are not good for the brand or the character. So this comes at us from a Wall Street Journal podcast where we have a report from Ben Fritz who talks about many of the things that happen behind the scenes in the MCU, specifically related to Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige and what was going on during the whole merger and buyout of Marvel by Disney. And then, of course, the formation of a committee in relation to everything Marvel, which ultimately led to the split of Marvel Studios and Marvel Entertainment. And he reveals that during the production of Iron Man 2, the creative committee had to go over Kevin Feige and try to literally rule over him because of the scenes he wanted to keep in the film. The one that he got to keep was Tony peeing in the suit. That was something he was very much adamant on staying in the film. But the scene that they had to step over him and convince him to cut was scenes where he is literally abusive of Pepper Potts. He comes off more like an antagonist. He also comes off somewhat as a villain and just seemed to be a very cruel, unlikable, and a completely tasteless person towards everybody around him. And their agreement was, okay, keep one scene in, and it's going to be the pee in the suit, even though we don't want that in there, but we're taking everything else out. And this was the agreement that they made, so one scene was kept in, everything else was scrapped from it. Now, of course, we know that Iron Man 2, when Marvel Studios was bought by Disney, along with Marvel, went through a few changes. And we know that they were going to lean a lot harder into the whole demon in a bottle thing, which was intended for Iron Man 1, but they decided not to put it in there and to kind of drag it out into Iron Man 2 and 3. I'm honestly very happy they didn't put any of this in there. Feige, I think, was 100% wrong on trying to push that. We didn't need that. And imagine seeing an abusive Tony Stark, who's abusive of his best friend, who's abusive of everybody, including Pepper. And then you're reminded of all that when he dies. That doesn't work. A cocky, arrogant Tony Stark that's still friendly, that works. But abusive and somebody that's belittling everybody all the time? No, that's completely different and a completely different film and a completely different MCU.